Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to Learners Podcast. This is our third episode of the third session on our training C++ to Python, the programming for the non-IT professionals. This is part of our training for the data science. In today's session, we are going to learn we are going to install the programming languages. Okay, we will see the languages that we are going to use in this training, how to install those languages. So there are many different kinds of the languages. You might have heard the different names as well. Some are the old languages, some are the modern languages. Like for example, you might have heard the word about the Fortran. Fortran means the formula translation. This was a very much scientific language that was popular during the 1940s, 45 and onward. It was a very popular language. Then there is another language, the basic language. It stands for the beginner all-purpose symbolic instruction codes. This is a language, this is not an ordinary language. This is a very strong language, but this is very easy to use. That is why it is recommended to the learners who are new to the programming. This language was launched during the around 1955, and since then it is very popular. Although there are the different versions of the basic language are available, like Visual Basic, addressing all the modern programming languages requirement as well. But basically, the basic version of the basic language is recommended to the learners learning the programming languages. Okay, this is a very good language. Another one is the COBOL, that is Common Business Oriented Language. This was basically used for developing the business application. Okay, these are the old languages. Then there was another popular language, you can say it was a scientific language as well, the Pascal. Okay, this was also very popular structured language. Then come the C in 1980. It was designed and it has shifted the paradigm of the programming. All the modern programming languages, including even the Python that we are going to learn, that is written in the C language. Another difference between these languages is there are the two very popular paradigms. One is called the you can say procedural, or also we say them the structural. Procedural languages, these are all old languages, Pascal, C, COBOL, they were the procedural languages. They were also like Pascal is a very strong structured language as well. C language, Pascal language. So that is one paradigm, to the procedural and the structural paradigm. Then comes the object-oriented paradigm, okay, object-oriented programming. Like for example, C++ is a very much the object-oriented programming, all right. Java, Python. So these languages are basically providing supporting the object-oriented programming. So nowadays, when a person try to learn the programming, he has to learn the procedural and the object-oriented programming. All right. Okay, so for this course, for this training, what I am going to recommend is first of all, we will be using the basic language. We will be using the C++, and we will be using the Python. Ultimately, our destination is to reach at the Python. Okay, but for this, we have to pass through we will learn the C language and the basic language. Basic language is basically, I am recommending for the beginners, who are new to the programming world. For them, developing the programming logic is, you can say, it is quite easier and quite comfortable for them to learn to develop their programming logic with the basic language. Okay, like for basic language, we will be using the GW Basic. GW Basic is a very popular version of the basic language. All right. So I will be using the basic language initially to start to make you develop some initial programs, or to learn the basic functionality and basic concept of the programming. All right. For the C language, C++, I will be using the dev-C. There are many different platforms available for C++, but I will be using the dev-C, which is also recommended in the education circles and also by the developers as well, that the dev-C is highly recommended. One of the advantages is that it is an open source. Next one is for the Python. We will be using the core for Python interpreter, and then we will be installing the PyCharm interpreter. PyCharm basically provides the IDE. IDE stands for the Integrated Development Environment. It is kind of the, you can say, you will provide you the interface by which the programmers can very easily write the programs. Okay, although writing the programs in the Python, in the core Python, I mean to say, interpreter, it is hard. All right. Okay, one more thing you need to understand at this stage, like I have told you that there are two paradigms. One is the procedural paradigm and other is the OOPS paradigm for learning the languages. Similarly, there are two kinds of the languages. One are called the compiled languages. And other are the interpreter languages. Okay. These are the two different kinds of the languages which are existed nowadays. Like Python is basically an interpreter language, okay, by design. Basic language is an interpreter language, whereas C language is very much a compiled language. Similarly, if you go to the Java, okay, Java provides both the functionality of the compiled and as well as the interpreter language. Okay, so you need to understand right now at this stage, I feel it is important to understand the difference between the compiled languages and the interpreter language. So for this, I will take you to the screen. So there are two kinds of languages. One is called the compiled languages and other are called the interpreter languages. One of the difference between these two languages is that you need to understand in a very simple terms. Basically, the basic function of these programming languages is to execute the program. We say run the program. So their function is basically execution, program execution. All the languages are basically, you can say, they use the software which they call the translators, as I told you in the previous lecture, which compile the high-level code into the machine at the machine level, or we can say the source code into the object code. All right, the machine code we said. So the compiled languages, they translate the programs, okay, before the execution. This is very, very important to understand. They translate before execution. Whereas the interpreter, they translate during the execution of the program. This is very, very important, basic difference between these two. As the compiled languages, they translate the whole code. If we have written the 10 lines code, 20 line, 100 lines code, they translate the whole code before the execution. Whereas the interpreter, they translate the line by line. They first take the first line, translate it, and then they run it, execute it. Then they take the second line of the code, interpret it, and then execute. So this is how these two languages are, I mean to say, in their execution, their working is different. One thing. I will give you one very good example, simple example to make you understand this concept. For example, there are three persons Mr. B, and Mr. C. Mr. A understands the English language, and Mr. C understands the Chinese language. Okay, there is a Mr. B whose job is to translate what Mr. A is saying and convey it to the Mr. C. In other words, he is working as an interpreter. He is working as a translator. He is lying between the A and C. Whatever A is saying, he is translating it and he is telling to the C. But he has the two ways to do it. One way is, suppose Mr. A writes a letter, okay, 3 lines of letter. He gives that letter to Mr. B to forward it to Mr. C. Okay, as Mr. B knows that Mr. C doesn't understand the English, so what he will do is that he will just take the whole letter, he will translate the whole letter into the Chinese language, and that will be ready in every sense. He will then forward it to the Mr. C. And if there is any problem, he will just ask the Mr. A what is this and all this thing. This is the job of the compilers. He is right now, Mr. B is acting like a compiler. So compiler basically what it does, it take the whole batch of the program, okay, just see it, read it, try to find any mistakes or any error in it, and we correct all the things before he is passing on for the execution. This is a compiler way of working. Okay, basically when we talk about the compilers, we have to come across the 3 things. One is the, like, we need to perform the 3 operations: translation, linking, okay, translation, linking, and loading. So compilers basically they perform translating, linking, loading. What are these? So no need to worry about it right now, but when we will be actually running the C program, I will be explaining you while I will doing it. So in that case, you will be in a better position to understand these functions: translation function, linking function, and the loading. So in other words, when we say a program, a compiler converts the source code into the object code, he has to pass through these 3 stages. I mean to say high-level languages into the language of 1 and 0, the object code, machine language code. He has to pass through these 3, he has to perform these 3 functions, or he has to pass through these 3 stages. So I will be telling you at that time, but right now, just try to keep it in mind that compiler is working in this way, and he has to pass through the different stages before that. Now I take you to the example of the interpreter. In case of interpretation, what the role of the Mr. B it would be? Mr. B will take the first line of the code and he will translate that code and we will pass on to the Mr. C. Mr. C will then act accordingly. And then he will take next line of code, convert it, and then pass it on to it. And then he will take the next line of code. This is how line by line he is interpreting and passing on to the Chinese person. All right. So this is the difference between the functioning of the interpreter and the compiler's language. All right. So very quickly, so far whatever we have learned in the last couple of lectures, four, or in three sessions, there was a number of lectures. I have tried to develop your basic concepts, okay, that are necessary to make you start your programming. There are many theoretical concepts that will come. I mean, I will be explaining you, like today I have explained you about the compiler and the interpreter languages. So we will keep on learning in this way, and that is the style that I am going to adopt. So these are the 3 languages in today's session. Now I am going to demonstrate you that how to actually install this program, how to download these programs and languages, and how to install it on your computer. So for you, my advice would be that you just follow my procedure. It is very simple. It is not at all difficult. But if still you have, I mean to say, yes, there is one bottleneck, and the bottleneck is from computer to computer, things might be different, particularly in case of the C language. Okay, so sometimes might be my viewers might feel some difficulty in installing the C compiler. But don't worry, just whatever I am demonstrating, try to do it in your way. And when we will run the C program, if it is not running, it will not run, then I will advise you that you will have the two ways. One way is that you just send me in the comment section of the video the problem that you are facing. I will try to solve that problem. And if not, then just find any person who is familiar with who is the IT guy. Just say him to help you install these languages. So that would be not a problem for you. I mean, this thing will not stop your learning. Okay. So with the learning, definitely, as I'm saying you to consult the books as well. You can consult the internet. You can consult the many other resources as well. This depends upon your interest. Okay. But my focus is to keep my pace slow and keep my pace simple and understandable, because my viewers are the non-IT professionals, and these non-IT professionals are going to learn a very, you can say, advanced level of, you can say, a learning. All right. So now I'm going to take you to my desktop, where you will first we will install the basic language, then the C language, and then the Python. So very quickly, let's move on. Now we are going to install three languages one by one. First of all, we are going to install the GW Basic. For the GW Basic, we will go to the browser. In the Google search, we will write the GW Basic. Okay. So as you write, you will find the list of the different programs here. This is the link that we required. PC Basic, a GW Basic emulator download. Source Forge. Click it, it will take us to that site, and press this download green button here. It will start downloading the software after 5 seconds. As you can see, it has started downloading. Yes, this download is now complete. For opening this software, just press it, clicking it, it is opening the GW Basic. As you can see it here, just keep the default setting as it is, no need to change anything. Press next. Also press next here in this window as well. Now press install. Press install here. This is started installing. Yes, it is completed. Just close it. If you go in the list of the programs, you will find the new install PC Basic here at the number 3. You can start its, you can make its link as well on the taskbar by right clicking pin to taskbar. But right now we are directly starting it from here. Just click it here, PC Basic. It will start the interface for the GW Basic. This is the interface here. Now I am going to write the test program, going to make a test run just to see if it is working or not. You don't need to worry what I am doing. Just watch it. When you will write the program yourself, you will then learn what how to write this program. Okay, just end. Now running it. Yeah, this is a test run. It is working fine. Okay, so GW Basic is installed and ready to run. Okay. Okay, now another important thing is before installing the next language, to see what is the processing power of the computer. For that, press this window icon and select this system. It will open the system configuration. Okay. Here you can see the system type 64-bit operating system. So your computer might be 64-bit or the 32-bit. So this thing is important. Sometime while installing the language, the option is being asked, what is the computer type? It is a 64-bit computer or 32-bit. Okay, next we are going to install the dev C++ software. Okay, for this we will follow the same procedure. We will go open up the browser. So Google search. Right here the dev C++. It will open the list of the different installers for the dev C++. As you can see dev C++ first SourceForge link, and the next another one is the official website for the dev C++. So I am going to open both of these links one by one to show you the difference between these two. This is the official one, and this is the SourceForge. Well, I am going to install the 5.11 version of the dev C++ that I am going to use for this training. So this link SourceForge, when we download it, as you can see the C++ 5.11. So this is the installer that we required. So while clicking it, it will start downloading that. As you can see, it is downloading dev C++ 5.11. Okay, we will be installing this one. Yes, this download is complete. This is installed. If you go in the official website, it also gives you the number of options. Like if you see this get dev C++, this is a version 5, or sometimes we also say it 4.992. But this is not I am going to use, so I am not going to install it. Just to show you how it is installed, just first click it, it will download it. It is also taking you to the same download site. It is also being downloaded, dev C++ 4.992. Okay, we are going to install this one 5.11. Just click it, it will open the installer for us. As you can see, very soon its installation will be started. You see it has started unpacking. Sometimes it takes time, so don't worry, it depends on the speed of the computer. Right now it is taking time, 48%, 50%. 60%, 70, 80, almost we are done. So yes, it is done. Now it has started installation. Okay, I agree. This is an agreement. Just see it. Press I agree. Leave everything as it is. Press next. Press install. Okay, it has started installations. Here it will take some time. As you can see, dev C++ 5.11 is being installed. It is written up there. It is almost complete. Yes, it is completed. Okay. Run dev C option is being selected. Press finish. There is another way to run this. As you can see, it's this one icon is here, dev C++. You can click it. This will also start the dev C. So just press yes here. Okay, this is the interface IDE for the dev C++. This is where we are going to write the programs. Now here I will write the test program just to see it is working or not, as we have checked in the case of the basic language. In the file, press new source file. So don't need to worry what I'm doing. So when I will be teaching you, I will explain you all these things, how to write this program. But right now I am only testing it. Include iostream using namespace standard. Okay, semicolon, main, braces. Okay, cout. This is our test run. Okay, and L. Okay, semicolon. Next, return 0. This is a typical language of the C, as you can see. Okay, now we are going to save it, and then what saving is, we can give it some name, test run. Okay, now run it, compile, run, or compile and run, and it is going to show me the result of the program. It's being compiled. Yes, this is a test run. It is working fine, excellent. So our dev-C is installed and running. We are ready to write programs in it. Okay, now exit it and move to the next language. Okay, now we are going to install the Python and PyCharm. First we will install Python, and then after that PyCharm. For the Python we will follow the same procedures. We will go in the Google search. Here we will write the Python. It will take us to the python.org. This is the official site of the Python. Here you will see, okay, this is the site. If you just move around, you will find the number of things in it. All we need is to, yes, we will, this is the site. We will select the download link. This is the next to the about download. It will show us the download, and this will show us the Python 3.96. This is the latest version available for the Python. Press it and it will start downloading the Python for us. As you can see, it is completed. Just press it. We are going to select the install now option. Leave everything as it is. No need to change much. Just press this add Python. This is fine. Press install now. It has started the installation process. Okay. So it takes some time. Normally about, in some cases, depending upon the speed of the computer, your internet speed, sometimes it takes even 15 to 16, 17, 20 minutes as well. So no need to worry, just let it complete. But if your internet speed is high, it can take the shorter time. So just press close. In my case, it is completed. So if you go in the list of the programs, you can see it, the Python, this is the manual, and this is the software. Okay, 64-bit. This is installed. It has automatically detected the software for me. It has installed 64-bit software for my computer, because my computer is 64-bit. Okay, just to click it, it will open its interface. This is the core Python. So as it is an interpreter, you can just directly write the command as well. So just to check it, if I write the print inverted commas, this is a test run of Python. Yes, close, enter. This is test run of the Python. It is working fine. So core Python 3.9 is 64-bit. It is installed on my computer. Now we are ready to install the PyCharm. Okay, for PyCharm, you have to go into the browser, write PyCharm, and it will open the JetBrains link. This is the JetBrains. PyCharm, the Python IDE for the professional. PyCharm is basically the IDE integrated development environment where one can very easily write the programs in the Python, as I will also show you today after this installation. Press this download. It will start the installation for the PyCharm. This is the option professional and community. Community option is the free option. Professional option is the premium option. It offers the free trial for 1 month, but we are going to select this free. Press download, and it will start installing the community version for this is the freeware PyCharm. Okay, it is being downloaded. After it's complete, we will start its installation. So we'll just wait a little bit. Both PyCharm and the Python both take some time, longer time as compared to other installers. So no need to worry. Okay, that's it. It has completed. This blue ring is the indicator that it is completed. Yes, now it is completed. Now just press it. Okay, it is opening the PyCharm installer. It is going to install this software for us. Yes, as you can see, it has started the process. So yes, press next. Press next. Keep the default setting as it is. Next. Yeah, here you have to select the 64-bit launcher because mine is a 64, and add launcher to the path. So I'm going to select this one and this one. These are the options. Okay, I also select this one. Also select this one. Yes. Create association. So we are selecting everything. Okay, next. Install. Press install. It has started installation. So just relax, sit back, and wait for the program to complete its installation. As you can see, it is jumping. This means that I am just skipping the steps. Skipping in a mean that I am just not recording that portion, just to save that time. This is why I am very quickly moving, just for the sake of this video. But generally it takes a longer time, about 14 minutes, 10 minutes, it depends. On my computer it generally takes 10 minutes. Okay, and now it is completed, almost completed. Good. I'm not going to reboot now. We will do it later. So selecting the reboot later, press finish, and it will. Yeah, you can see this is the icon for the PyCharm. Just click it. It will start the PyCharm IDE. Okay, first time when you run this PyCharm, it will take longer time. Okay, so no need to worry. Just let its setting be completed. Then after that, we will write the program. Okay, this is the ID. So when you start the new project, it will do some initial setting. It will start initializing the ID for us. Okay, press the new project. Okay, just keep the things default setting as it is. We're not going to change any environmental variable here. Okay, we will learn about it more when we will actually write the programs in Python. Saving default project, and now it is doing some necessary setting for us. It will take some time. Preparing workspace. Okay. Just close this help. Well, I have also skipped some of this process just to save the time. So when this process will be completed, you will see the green bar on the upper right corner. I'm just going to show you when it will be appeared. It is updating something. Let its setting be completed, because first time it will do some necessary setting, and then every next time it won't take that much time. So this is the default template for writing the programs. It is showing the indexing at the upper right corner, as you can see it there. Okay. Actually, we can just right now we can write the program after its template is shown. But I think first time I would recommend that let its setting be complete. Yes, as you can see, the screen tick is there. It means it has completed its process. Now we are ready to write down the program. I am going to just delete all this which is shown in the template. Okay, deleting it, I will write my own code, simple code, just to check it is working. Print the same command that we have written in the core Python. This is the test run, okay, of the Python. Enter it. Okay, now we will run it. Select run. It will show its output. Just select main option. Yes, this is a test run of Python. It has shown the output. Excellent. Do some more coding. Just need to check another thing. Some numerical. A is equal to 5, B is equal to 6, C is equal to A plus B. Okay, then print A plus B is equal to A plus B is equal to comma and C. And it should show us 5 plus 6. Run it. It is showing A plus B is equal to 11. Okay, excellent. It has shown us the output. Okay, so we have successfully installed the PyCharm. We have run the program in PyCharm and the core Python. Now we press exit. So today we have completed all the 3 installations. Now we are completely ready for doing the coding. Okay, so that's it, viewers. Today program, it was a bit technical today, so no need to worry. No need to, I mean to say, just follow my steps that I have taken. It is not at all difficult. If you have some problem, so don't stop there. Try it again. If still do you find some problem, then just go for the expert advice, uh, whatever is available to you on your places. All right. So with this, thank you very much. So inshallah, we will be meeting again in the next session. Thank you very much.